Dungeon Siege 2 fixes many of the errors of its predecessor, and fills the dungeon crawler void that so many Diablo and Baldur's Gate fans have endured. The cornerstone of the first Dungeon Siege was that it automated all of the annoying aspects of dungeon crawlers, like picking up loot and organizing your inventory, so that you could spend your time actually playing. The main problem with the first Dungeon Siege was that it automated too much in the way of gameplay, and left the user wondering what exactly their part of the experience was. In an effort to involve the player in more than a click-a-lot interface, Dungeon Siege 2 introduces powers for each character. Depending on their skills, players can unlock powers like a critical attack that does 20 times regular damage, or a BFG-type projectile that shoots lasers at enemies in its path. These powers are easily accessible by pressing the number keys corresponding to the player whose powers you want to activate. This goes a long way in helping you manage the combat and give that extra push right when it's needed. The skill trees work just like Diablo or World of Warcraft's talent system. You have a couple of different choices depending on what character class you go with. For instance, a fighter can choose to go with two-handed weapons or dual wield. A combat mage could choose to go with fire spells or lightning. This adds a level of customization, but comes off a bit bland since you can't customize too much beyond the initial choices. The battles throughout the game are all very fun, but Dungeon Siege 2 is a 40 to 60 hour game, so more spells and special attacks would have been very welcome. Another issue you may have is that it seems as if every single monster went to the armor shop before attacking you. You'll have a lot of loot. Gratuitous awards aren't usually a bad thing, but you'll find that 95% of what you pick up is useless to you. You'll find stuff halfway through the game that you would have loved 20 hours ago, but is barely worth picking up by that point. This comes in handy if you've bought one of the game's pets that eats your leftover loot, but if you fill your ranks with people, you'll be teleporting back to town a lot. On the flip side, teleporting is now a spell that any character can cast with no scrolls or regions, making it much easier to return if you need more potions or equipment. The general style of Dungeon Siege 2 is the same as the first game, but with pleasantly updated graphics. The character and monster models are not overly detailed, but animate well and look fantastic from the zoomed out view you'll primarily use. Spell effects, monster explosions, and especially teleportation all look great. Gas-powered games made an extra effort to immerse you in the world of Arana. The environments are extremely detailed and varied. Every NPC is voice acted, and there are no load times after starting up the game. The voice acting is average.
I didn't know that I would be overrun by those things.
But the fact that every character actually speaks to you really makes you feel like you're there.
Young warrior, you have made it safely through the caverns.
Thousands of years ago, a powerful warlord, Zeromoth, ruled the land with an iron fist and was challenged by no one but a young chief named Ajunai. Their final battle unleashed so much power from their enchanted weapons that it brought about the end of an age. Now, the Sword of Zeromoth has been found by a power-hungry prince seeking to claim all of the magic for his own. It's your job to stop him. The story is not particularly original, but definitely an improvement over Dungeon Siege 1. The world itself is also filled with people who have problems for you to solve, and all these side quests really flesh out the world of Arana and give you a feel for the place you're adventuring in. Dungeon Siege 2 is not perfect, but the time and effort the developers put into it shine through to give you 50 or so hours of dungeon crawling goodness.